Okay, we are going to get going. We're going to have a look at tonight at our integers. So we did quite a lot of work on integers a little while ago, but tonight we're going to do a revision on things that we've done in integers before and make sure that that knowledge is consolidated. All right, so let's go have a look at what we're doing this evening. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, our wonderful thermometers are back because it's a really good way for us to measure integers. A reminder, what are integers, guys? Integers are positive and negative numbers. So when they ask you what are integers, integers include negative and positive numbers. Okay, so when we're looking at writing down the temperature shown on each of our thermometers, we must remember that it doesn't just mean that they're all going to be negative all the time. It means they can also be positive and negative numbers. Okay, so for example, when we're looking at our first thermometer, it says, write down the temperature shown on each thermometer below. For the first one, if I'm reading that correctly, I'm going to get, let's give ourselves a nice color pen, 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, so for my first one, I read, where is the line finishing? There he is over there, and that represents 100 degrees Celsius. All right. Number 2, let's have a look at number 2. So number 2 is a really nice one for us to stretch our muscles here, our nuts muscles. All right. Number 2 says to us, if we look at that, here is the number 0 over here. And if we look where that line is finishing, that line is finishing up over there. Okay, let's try to see if we can get a bit of a darker highlighter. I don't think it's going to let us use a darker one, unfortunately. All right, so if we're reading that correctly, that means then, all right, that means that our number lies below 0. So if we go all the way down, I'm going to go count them. I've got 0, and this little line here is going to be negative 10. Then I've got negative 20, and then I'm going to have negative 30. So what is the temperature going to be for this one? It's going to be negative 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, have a look at C for me. C is a little bit tricky. I'm going to make it a bit bigger on the screen for you so you can go and try read it off a little bit clearer. So have a look at C for me and see what you guys can get there. Oh, yeah. Have a look at C for me. Go have a look. All right, who is helping me tonight? Okay, let's go Musiki, sorry. Hello, can you hear me? All right, I remember that there was a problem with your sound on Monday. I think maybe you might have the same problem again. Let's go Samakilasiwe. Do you want to help me with this one? Samakilasiwe, can you unmute yourself? Oh, yeah. I'm not sure why it won't let me unmute you. Okay, we will come back to you. All right, Christina, do you want to help me with this one? What do you get when you read off the temperature?
So what I got, I saw that's between 140 and 160.
Good.
And then between those two is 150.
Good. So I agree with you. Between 140 and 150 is 160. Completely agree with you, not disagreeing at all. If I'm looking at this line though, can you see that if I go and I draw like a little dotted line here to where it's ending off, it kind of isn't sitting on that 150, hey? Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay, so can we maybe make it somewhere between 140 and 150?
Yes. So what I said was 141 to 142 degrees Celsius.
Good. So you said 141 to 142 degrees Celsius. All right, I'm happy with that. If you got 145 degrees Celsius, I'm happy with that. Thank you, Christina, for your help. Okay, so I'd be happier with that. I'd be happier with that. Either answer I would be happy with. I wouldn't want to go any higher really than 145, to be honest with you guys, because that would be going a little bit over. I would probably accept 146 degrees Celsius maybe, but that's probably the highest that I would go. All right, I'm going to move this down for you guys, and we're going to have a look at the next question. While you're busy doing that, I'm just going to check in and see if anyone had any questions about the thermometers that we just did. So let's have a look on here. Okay, let's make sure that we're going to lower everyone's hands. Right, do that question for me. While we're doing that, does anyone have any questions on how to read thermometers? Okay, Grace, what's your question about thermometers?
Miss, I do not really understand what happens with the thermometers. That's why I raised my hand.
Perfect, Grace, no problem, of course. Grace, I'm going to move up a little bit, everybody. Hopefully you've got some of that down. Grace, do you agree, before we go up to that, Grace, do you agree that we've got things like number lines, hey? We all know how much Kirsty likes number lines, am I right? Love a number line,
Yes.
hey? Okay, so here's a number line, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I go below 0, Grace, what's my numbers below 0?
-1, -2,
Good,
-3, and -4.
good, and -4. Do you agree, Grace, that if I'm doing a number line, could I maybe go make this 0? And could I go up in 10? So could I go 10, 20, 30, and 40? Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And on this
Yes.
side, could I go -10, -20, -30, -40? Happy with that?
Mm. Yes, Miss. But
Okay,
yeah.
but now how do we put this onto a thermometer? I agree with you. Okay, so a thermometer it'll start like over here, am I right? And then it'll
Yes,
go
it
up
does.
to like that.
Yes.
So what that means, Grace, is because there isn't actually an arrow or a line, what it does is it'll do this. It'll go, you see where this arrow is here? It goes like
Yes,
this.
Miss.
And it ends at -10.
10.
So what happens is what we're saying here is that that thermometer was sitting somewhere all the way, who knows where this number line started. Do you agree that an arrow like that means that the number line started way that way?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
But if we're reading it on a thermometer, wherever the red line stops means that that's the temperature that we want to read it off of.
Oh, okay, Miss. Now I understand.
Does it make sense? Okay, good,
Yes, it
Grace. I'm so
does.
glad. Awesome. Cool.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Grace. You're welcome. All right. Mozeki, let's see if I can hear you now. Do you want to try now?
Can you hear
Here
me,
we
ma'am?
go. Yes, I can hear you now. Okay, what's your question?
Ma'am, I want to know how did you get to 142?
142. Okay, let's see. So that was one of our students that got 142. And I said, if they got 142, I would probably mark it right. What did you get when you did it?
Ma'am,
What did you get for this one?
I got 141 to 142.
That's fine. That's perfect. Okay, how did you get that? We go and say it falls between 140 and 150. It's not actually sitting on 140 or 150, so I go and I pick a number in between those.
Yes, ma'am.
Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. Which other one? Is that the only one that you had trouble with? Any others?
No, ma'am, it was just only that one.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, so let us go and have a look at question 2, guys. So question 2 says, for her birthday, Tembisa got 150 Rand from her grandparents, 100 Rand from her parents, and 70 Rand from her best friend. A. How much does Tembisa have in total? So I already saw that Tara Jane already asked me if she can answer this one. So Tara Jane, let's go. What did you get for A, Tara Jane?
I got 320 Rand.
Good, Tara Jane. So am I right in saying you went and said 150 plus 100? Oh, my pen is not happy tonight. Let's see if we can get it to work properly. Okay, let's write it nicely, Tara Jane, so we can all see here. 150 plus 100 plus 70 here. And you went and you added it up, and what did you get in total? You got 320 Rand. Well done, Tara Jane. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Tara Jane for number A got 320. Thank you so much. Cool. All right, next one says, how much more did she receive from her grandparents than from her best friend? How much more did she receive from her grandparents than she got from her best friend? So earlier on, after Tara Jane, the next hand up that I saw was Umar. Umar, what did you get for B?
Ma'am, so what I said was 150 Rand minus 70 Rand, which gave me the total of 80 Rand.
Good. So 150 is how much she got from her grandparents. So there's 150 from her grandparents. And she got 70 Rand from her best friend. Well done. So you said 150 minus 70, and that gave you 80 Rand. Well done. Thank you, Amar. Awesome. Okay. Let us have a look at the next one. So C says, Tembisa really wants a skateboard that costs 295 Rand and 50 cents. Will she have enough money saved to buy it? Okay. How much money will she have left over, or how much money will she owe? So let's see here. I've got Mulalo. Do you want to help me with C?
Yes.
Okay,
So
talk to me.
I said 295 Rand and 50 cents minus 24 Rand.
Minus 24 Rand.
320
Good.
minus 24 Rand. Why do I keep on saying 295?
I'm not sure. 295 Rand. 50
and 50
here.
cents.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
I put 2 zeros. Okay. So when I minus that, they gave me 24 Rand and 50 cents.
Good. So I'm going to go do it the long way quickly for everybody. So we just make sure we're all on the same page quick. Well done. Thank you so much for your help. You are completely right. Congratulations. Okay, so let's go do the subtraction. So 0 minus 0 gives me 0. 0 minus 5, I need to go across the comma. I need to see that I've got another 0. Oh my goodness, that's not going to help us. So I go up to the 2. I am going to cross out the 2 and put a 1. And that other 1 is going to go on top of the 10. All right. Now, that's not the number I needed. I still need more on the other side. So I cross out the 10, and now I have 9, and I add that 1 to the next 0. So 10 minus 5 gives me 5. Put in my comma. 9 minus 5 gives me 4. I need to go do some more borrowing. I cross out the 3, I make it a 2, and I put a 1. 11 minus 9 gives me 2, and 2 minus 2 gives me 0. So what's my answer? My answer is, first of all, will she have enough money? Yes. Okay. Rand, 24 Rand 50 left over. All right. Let's have a look at D. D says, after buying the skateboard, she makes 80 Rand from weeding the garden for her dad. How much will she have in total? So now she's gone, she's bought her skateboard, okay? She had 24 and 50 left over from her skateboard, all right? And she earns an extra 80 Rand. Jaden. Are you going to help me with this one, Jaden?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Jaden, talk to me. What do I need to do?
So ma'am, we need to add 80 rand to the 24 rand 50 cents.
Good. So 80 plus 24 and 50. And what do you get,
Which
Jaden?
is 104 rand 50 cents.
Good. Thank you so much, Jaden. So I'm going to go put my double zeros there. 0 plus 0 gives me 0. 0 plus 5 gives me 5. And I put a comma. 0 plus 4 gives me 4. 8 plus 2 gives me 10. Well done. So Jaden got 104 rand 50. Well done, Jaden. Thank you very much for the help. So 104 rand 50. All right. Hopefully we were all good with that nice little number sum there that we had. Okay, remember that when you are dealing with money, guys, just a reminder, when you're dealing with money, you must always remember to put the rand sign in. Just like before when we were doing thermometers, we're always going to put degrees Celsius in. So don't forget. Okay. Question 3. Put the following integers into descending order. So first of all, if we're doing descending order, I need to understand what descending order means, guys. So what does descending order mean? Who can tell me what descending? Okay, Mufaro, what's descending?
Ma'am, descending means from highest to smallest.
Fantastic, good. From biggest to smallest, or from highest to lowest. Well done. Highest to lowest. Thank you so much. Awesome. Okay, so that's really important that I need to go from highest to lowest. Again, a reminder, if it asks me to do my integers, a reminder that integers are negative and positive numbers. Sometimes what students go and say is they're like, oh, well, I've only got to do the negative numbers because it's integers. No, guys, integers is negative and positive numbers. So let's go have a look. Put them in from highest to lowest. If I go look at all my numbers, I've got 26,543, 25,643, 25,000, 25,634. Then I've got a negative number, then 25,641, and then I have a negative number again. I have the number 1, and then I have a negative number. So out of all those numbers, which one would be the biggest number, and how did you work out which the biggest number was? So which one would be the biggest number, and how did you work out which one the biggest number was? So let's go. Sipho. Sipho, do you want to help me out here?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Sipho. Which number is the biggest one?
26,543.
Awesome. And how did you work that out, Sipho?
Because it is bigger than the other numbers.
Good, because it's definitely bigger than the other numbers. It's the only one that's 26,000, okay?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Sipho.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let us continue. So 26,543. All right, is my biggest number. Now I'm looking for my second biggest number out of all of those. So I'm going to go through. I've already crossed that number off. Okay, I'm looking for the next biggest number. So if I'm looking at those ones for myself, I'm guessing it's going to be between either this number and that number. Those are my next, I'm lying to you guys, and that number. Those are my next numbers that aren't negative numbers, okay? That aren't 1, but that all have 25,000 in them. So when I'm comparing those, I've got 25,000, 25,000, 25,000. So that's not going to help me. I've got 600, 600, and 600. That's not going to help me. What is going to help me? What's going to help me is looking at those last 2 digits, okay? So if I'm looking at those last 2 digits, I've got 43 34, and then 41. So I need to see out of those, which one is the biggest. And I would definitely say here that the biggest number between those numbers is 25,643. Okay. All right. So I'm looking for the next two numbers in order. Unati, do you want to help me with those? I haven't heard from you today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Unati, what's my next two numbers going to be?
It's gonna be 2005 641.
25641. I completely agree with you. And what's the next one going to be?
The next one is gonna be 25,634.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Unati. Thank you for the help.
No problem.
Oh, my screen has seemed to just jump quickly, guys. Okay, so let's get back to where we were. Right. So those are my next two numbers that Unati helped me with in the line. So I'm going to go and I'm going to go cross those off for myself very quickly. All right. So that one is done. That one is done. And that one is done. All right. Okay. My next number that I can see that's bigger, or the next bigger number, is definitely going to be the number. Oh my goodness, why does it keep on doing this to us? Sorry, everybody. All right, is definitely going to be the number 25,000. Okay, so that's my next biggest number in the row, 25,000. All right, and after 25,000, I go and I put a line through it. If I look at all my remaining numbers, guys, if I look at my remaining numbers, I've got this one, this one, this one, and this one. Out of all of those numbers, which one is the biggest? Out of all of those numbers, oh my goodness, sorry everybody. Out of all of those numbers, the one that is definitely the biggest is going to be the number 1. All right. Now we're going to go have a look at our integers. So remember, when we're looking at our integers, the biggest number is the one that's going to be closest to the zeros, but in the negatives. So if I'm looking at the ones that they're wanting me to look at, it's this one, and this one. Now remember, when we're doing our integers work the other way. So they work backwards. So whatever number we would have thought was bigger when it wasn't a negative number is going to be the number that is the smallest. Okay, so we've got negative 25642, negative 25600, and negative 25542. So out of those numbers, which one would be closer to 0? Out of those numbers, the one closer to 0 would be negative 25. Just having a small problem with that pen again. Negative 25 600. Okay, all right. Have a look for me. Which one is going to be next, guys? Which one is going to be next? All right, so just while I'm fixing our pen very quickly, because it's having a small meltdown this evening. Okay, have a look for me. All right, so there we go. We can get our pen working now. Okay, so again, we're going in descending order, biggest to smallest. So we're looking which one would be closest to 0 out of those numbers. And we said the one that would be closest to 0 out of those numbers would be 25600. So 25600, and it needs to have a negative in front of it. The next one that's after that number, which one falls after that number now? Oh, guys, I'm making mistakes here all over the place. It's going to be negative 2. Oh, no, that is right. I'm losing my mind here. 600. The next one will be negative 25642. And the smallest number out of all those numbers is negative 26542. Okay, so for my integers, when my integers are negative, but they're getting bigger technically, right? Those are actually the smallest numbers because they're furthest away from the 0. So they kind of work opposite to the positive numbers. All right. We're going to have a very small brain break, okay, because that was a lot of integers. All right, before we move on to working out what number is bigger than and smaller than, before we go and do all of that, I'm going to remind you guys, and for those of you who've been here before, you'll know exactly how to do this. But for those of you who are new to Watobe, let's go have a look how you can find the videos for Watobe, for previous lessons, guys. All right, so some of you should be pros at this by now because we've been practicing it. But if we have a look, okay. So step 1, go to the YouTube channel. Remember, I've made these notes for you so you can take screenshots. All right, so you can take some screenshots and you can remind yourselves of how to find them. So the first place we're going to find our videos is on the YouTube channel. Step 1, go to the YouTube channel. Search for Watobe, and we're going to do that together now. Click on the Watobe image. Click on playlists. So I would click on playlists. Scroll to 2023 grade 7 to view the grade 7 lessons. So that's what the grade 7 lessons look like. They're all that green color, so you can tell exactly which one they are. Mr. Hugo has very kindly put the link for you in the chat. So I'm going to show you what happens when you click on that link. Okay. Let's minimize our screen so that we can see it. All right. So if we bring this across for you guys so you can have a look at how this looks when you click on the link that Mr. Hugo sent you. Right, Mr. Hugo sent you the exact link to take you to the YouTube channel. So there are all the different lessons under home. If we go to playlists like we spoke about, we click on playlists. We move all the way down and grade 7 is at the bottom. So I'm going to click on grade 7 for us now. Okay, if we move down, you'll be able to see that all the lessons that you guys have done this year are all available on Watobe's website. So there's common fractions, there's numeric and geometric patterns, there's numeric and geometric patterns again, finding the rule, there's integers, there's exponents. So let's click on the integers lesson that we did a little while ago. And if we move it along, there we are. Okay, so there is the lesson that we did on exponents. It's really easy to find, guys. It's really nice for you to do revision, especially when you're practicing for a test or you're getting ready for exams. Please don't forget to go and watch all the videos. Another place where you can find the videos is the Watobe website. So they're all listed on the Watobe website. You can go there, you can find the video from the lesson that you're looking at, and you can watch them from there. But they are also available on YouTube. Can you go and watch the grade 8 videos? Of course you can watch the grade 8 videos. If you're feeling really adventurous, can you go watch the grade 12 videos? Sure, go watch the grade 12 videos. But which ones are applicable to you? You are looking for the grade 7 videos. So make sure you're making use of that. It's available to you, all our lessons recorded, and you can go and you can watch. What's nice about the YouTube ones, you can press pause, you can rewind, you can take a screenshot of what's happening on the screen, and you can do the questions again and again as well. All right, so back to our lesson this evening. Okay, so we are looking for each pair of numbers, say whether the first number is greater than, smaller than, or equal to. So we did some practice of this in our last lesson as well when we were looking at exponents. I'm going to remind you, I like using the method with dots. So I like saying to myself, if the number is bigger, it's going to get 2 dots. The smaller number gets 1 dot, and then I join the dots. What other method can you use? You can also use the crocodile mouth method. So you can go say to yourself, the crocodile mouth is always open to the side that is the biggest number. If your teachers have taught you a different method in class, use that one. If it works for you and you're getting the right answers, I'm happy for you guys to use those answers. I like the dot method. I think it works nicely, but you are more than welcome to use whatever method you use that's going to help you. So if we're looking at question 4, okay, my very first one says, A, which number is greater, 6,532 or 6,529? Well, let me do the first one with you guys. If I'm looking at that, both of them are 6,000 and 6,000, so 6,000 doesn't help me. If I look at the next number, they both 6,500 and 6,500. Not gonna help me. So what are the two numbers that are gonna help me? Well, one number ends with 32 and the other number ends with 29. So which number is bigger, 32 or 29? Of course, you guys all know that 32 is bigger, so it gets 2 dots. 29 is smaller, so it gets 1 dot. And I go and I join my dots. Another way of saying that is which number is bigger? It's 32, and the crocodile mouth is always open to the bigger number. Why is it always open to the bigger number? Because it's always hungry, so it always wants to eat the bigger number. Okay, looking at my next one, B, I've got negative 137 and negative 136. Which number is bigger? So let's take an answer here from somebody. Who have I not heard from tonight? Dimple. Dimple, can you tell me which number is bigger?
It would be negative 137.
Okay, be careful, Dimple. Thank you so much for your answer, my love. Let's have a look, okay? So if we're looking at negative numbers, remember, what do we know about negative numbers? The positive numbers go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 135, 136, 137. So positive 137 is, yes, I'm completely agreeing with you. It's greater than positive 136. But if we're looking at the negative numbers, what happens with the negative numbers? They work in the opposite way. In other words, the number that's closest to 0 is going to be the bigger number. In other words, negative 1 is bigger than negative 4. Why is that true? Because negative 1 is closer to 0 than negative 4. So in this case, what are we going to go see? Because it's a negative number, we'll say negative 136 is bigger, negative 137 is smaller, and I connect my dots. All right, hopefully that makes sense, Dimple, and you got it. All right, let's go with somebody that we haven't heard from tonight. Let's go Sisetu. Sisetu, are you going to do C? Hi. Right, Sisetu, let's do C together. Which one's bigger, 1,400 or 100 times 14?
100 times 14.
Okay, let's work it out. What is 100 times 14, Sisetu?
Can you work it out?
Let's work it out. What's 100 times 14? Do you agree it's going to be 14 and 2 zeros, hey?
Yes, sir.
You agree? So, which one's bigger, 1,400 or 1,400?
It's equals.
Thank you. They are equal. They are equal. Thank you, Sisetu.
Thank you.
All right. My next one, which one is bigger? Negative 58,677. Oh my goodness. Or negative 58,766. I'm going to help you out a little bit quickly. I know that they're both negative, so that's great. That's going to help me. The 5's not going to help me because I've got a 5 there. The 8's not going to help me because I've got an 8 there. So what numbers am I actually looking at when I'm trying to work out which one is bigger or smaller? either negative 677 or negative 766. I'm going to remind you guys that the number that is closer to 0 in the negatives is the number that is bigger. Okay, so the number that's closer to 0 is the number that is bigger. So let's see, who have I not heard from? Seeing all my familiar faces here. Right, Grace. Grace, do you want to give this one a try? Oh, Grace is hiding now. You're up and then you're gone. Grace, I can't hear you. I can see you talking, but your sound is not coming on. Oh dear, maybe Mr. Hugo can help you to show you how to get the sound on. Okay, let's go Katleho. Which one is bigger?
I think negative 58,677 is bigger than negative 58,766.
You are amazing. Why is that? Because that number is going to be closer to the 0. Do you agree? Because it's a negative number. So well done. Thank you, Katleho. All right. And finally, the last one. Let's go give the last one a try. Okay, I'm going to ask here, oh, all my numbers are gone. Sorry, the last one I've got negative 5 on the one side. On my other side, I've got 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus negative 1. Their hands are on fire tonight, my goodness. Let's go Insika. Insika, do you want to help me with this one? All right, Insika, I think maybe something is wrong with your sound as well. All right, I'm hoping that maybe Mr. Hugo can help you. Let's go Grace. Do you want to try again, Grace? Let's see if yours is working now. Hi, Grace. Oh, Grace, I still can't hear you and I can see you talking to me. I'm so sorry. All right, I think maybe ask Mr. Hugo in the chat and see if he can help you out. Okay, so let's do it quickly. So I've got 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, sorry, and 6 minus 1. How did I get minus 1? Remember, what do I need to do? I see a negative and a positive next to each other. A positive times a negative is going to leave me with a negative. And 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, and 6 minus 1 is going to give me 5. So now I ask myself, which number is bigger, 5 or negative 5? The answer is going to be 5. So the crocodile mouth is going to point to the amount that is bigger. It's going to eat the amount that is bigger. All right. Or we can say 2 dots to the one that's bigger, 1 dot to the one that's smaller. And we join up the dots. All right. Okay. Let us have a look at number 5. Number 5 says, fill in the missing integer. Remember, integer can be positive or negative in the algebraic equation. So I'm going to do the first one with you. It says 16 plus what will give me 22? 16 plus what gives me 22? 16 plus what gives me 22? It's going to be 16 plus 6. 16 plus 6 gives me 22. Okay, I'm going to give you a few minutes to do the next ones. I see I've got so many hands up already. Mr. Hugo, everyone's on fire tonight. They all want to answer questions. It's so good.
Yes, that's excellent. I see.
Yeah, okay, guys, take a few minutes, answer those ones by yourself on a piece of paper first. Okay, get all your answers. All right. So let us go with Mwande. Mwande, do you want to help me with these?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mwande, 7 minus what gives me negative 2, Mwande?
So, ma'am, I'm first gonna put, ma'am. So, ma'am, it says gonna be positive 7 minus negative 2. So, ma'am, a positive and a negative makes a negative. So it's gonna be 7 minus 2.
Okay, so if I say 7 minus 2, thank you so much for the help. If I say 7 minus 2, and I can see Umar's giving me the answer there in the chat, I can see you there, Umar. Well done, your answer is right. Okay, so I'm going to go do a number line quickly, Umar. All right, and on my number line, I'm going to have 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 1, -1, sorry, and -2. Now I'm going to go and tell myself I'm starting at 7 and I want to get all the way to -2. So if I'm doing that, I'm going to go count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what must I subtract from 7 to get to -2? I must subtract 9. All right. Who is going to help me with C? Let's have a look. Who's going to help me with C? Zawande. Zawande, do you want to help me with C?
Yes, miss.
Okay. What plus 5 gives you -15, Zawande?
I think miss it's 7. 7
So-
plus 5.
So if we do 7 plus 5, do you agree that gives me positive 12? So nice try, but we want to get to -12, okay?
Oh, I
Do you
didn't
agree?
see.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
miss, I
okay.
didn't see.
That's okay. Okay, so I'm going to go do a number line for us. Are you happy with that?
Yes, miss.
Okay, let's go see. So I'm going to go do a number line here. All right, I'm going to say to myself, I've got, let's put -12 over here. So something plus 5, so we're moving this way, okay, will get me to -12. Okay, so something plus 5 gets me to -12, okay? So how am I going to work out what the number was originally? I need to go and subtract 5. So if I go and subtract 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is -13, -14, -15, -16, -17. So when I go and say -12 minus 5, that gets me all the way to -17. So my answer is going to be -17 plus 5 gives me -12. All right, let's have a look at D, guys. 9 plus what will give you 8? 9 plus what gives you 8? Let's try somebody that hasn't spoken. Oh, there we go. Kolofelo, do you want to help me with D, Kolofelo?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what am I going to say, Kolofelo? 9 plus what gives me 8?
I'm going to 9 plus -1.
Oh, you are amazing. We're going to put a bracket, good. And we're going to say -1 will give me 8. Well done. Thank you so much, Kolofelo.
Pleasure, ma'am.
Okay, so our integers are on fire tonight. Well done, guys. We're going to say 9 plus, and in a bracket, we're going to have -1 gives me 8. And finally, the last one that we've got here, Kiamo, I promise you, I can see you. I'm going to let you answer the last one with me. Let's go through it together. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, talk to me. How am I going to do this one?
Ma'am, you're gonna first draw a number line.
Good girl. I'm going to draw a number line for E. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go put some numbers on here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Now, what would you like me to do with the number line? Talk to me.
Ma'am, but first, before we get to the number line, it says 5 minus -8, and there's a negative and a negative next to each other.
You're amazing. Well done. Thank you for picking that up. So when there's a negative and a negative, what must I do? You're
Ma'am,
going to put a
you're gonna,
circle,
yes, ma'am.
and what's it going to become?
Ma'am, it's gonna become a positive.
Good girl. Well done.
Woohoo! Well done, Kiamo.
Well done. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you. Well done. Right, Mr. Hugo as well. Okay. Tell me, Nakiamo, what is 5 plus 8? I could do a number line. I agree with you. A number line is always, always, always helpful. But you can tell me what's 5 plus 8.
Ma'am, it's 13.
Good. Well done. You rock star. Well done. Well done. Guys, I'm so proud of you guys. Well done. Thank you so much, Kiamo. All right. Okay, guys, we have come to the end of our lesson, unfortunately.